since we had the last podcast.
What's that?
2 more dildos have flown out onto the court of the WNBA. So that's 3 of them now. And I believe they've all been green.
Oh, my God. Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome back to this episode of Bets and Buds. Football season is upon us, everybody. We got our first full weekend of preseason football going on. I am Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to be covering the AFC South today. A little bit of Cardinals baseball here. We kind of, whatever. There ain't much to talk about there, but we're diving all of this shit. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're in the throes of summer, the dog days, as they like to call them, but football season is right around the bay.
Yeah, we had one nice weekend, but then, man, it's hot again.
Oh, yeah, we got hot again. I mean, that's what happens. It's August. It's supposed to happen. I'll take a, 70s and 80s.
Oh, that was last week was beautiful.
Yeah, I'll take one of those. I mean, that's no problem at all for me. So, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Had a good weekend on the river.
Oh, yeah, you guys did the float trip thing and all that.
Good weekend on the river. It's good.
Like I said, I joined the boat club, so it allowed me to get out and I can get out in the river whenever the hell I want to, and so I can enjoy that shit when I want to. So that's nice, man. Yeah, it's gonna be good times. So
let's kick off on these Cardinals. I'm not sure. The game was still going on as we sat down the last game against the Dodgers, but coming into the day, they were one game under 500, 57-58. If you go all the way back, they were 54-45 at one point. So they're 4-13 in their last 17 games. They've been shut out like 3 or 4 times.
I think they showed the record. I think they had like 3 shutouts in the first 50 some odd games or whatever, and then in the last since the All-Star break, they've been shut out like 10 since the last All-Star break. I think they're most in Major League Baseball now. So
they did end up making the 3 trades last week: Helsley, Matan, and Matz. All pitchers, got 6 prospects in return. You traded nobody out of your lineup. So yeah, this is what it is. You're 13 games back of the Brewers.
I'm just saying I look forward because the Brewers now got like a 4-game lead against the Cubs now. So here's what I look forward to is a new regime going in. I try to not be an anti-Mo guy, but I'm telling you right now, over the last 3 years, he is stunk. I mean, he has absolutely sucked as a general manager and president of our baseball operations, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Right, because he's not even. Technically, he's not the general manager.
No, he's not the general manager. And the guy who he brought in to replace him isn't even there anymore. Right, so, Mo has done a horrible job. And here's why I will say this, just for this point and this point alone. So, you got Nolan Arenado at third. You can't trade because of the no-trade clause. You got Mason Wynn at shortstop. You got Brendan Donovan, who's at second. And then right now, what's the kid? Thomas Sajasi. Yeah. So you got him right there, too, as well. You got this J.J. Westerholt that's coming up, too.
Yeah, that's
you got Nolan Gorman, who you can't get at bats.
Right.
Look at this log jam you got in the middle of your lineup.
The same thing in the outfield, too.
Yeah, it's the same thing in the outfield. I mean, it's such a hodgepodge of, I don't know who the fuck's supposed to be the everyday player, who's supposed to not be. And it's just been a mismanagement organizationally-wise from a...
It has. And then bad starting pitching on top of that.
Yeah, bad starting pitching and bad personnel management. So, I mean, it's just been a whole thing. So, it's time for the John Mozeliak. It's kind of like, what was the... Fire Canada. I mean, they need to start one of those chants from Mozeliak.
I mean, he's got 2 months left, and Shane Bloom comes in.
But I hated the fact when he announced that he was going to be done after this year anyway, that they shouldn't have let him have control of the organization still. Like, there's no such thing as a lame duck general manager or president of baseball, unless you're like Doug Armstrong. Right. Because Doug Armstrong has shown he's a competent person who runs the Blues organization, and he handed it over to Alex Steen. That seems like it's been a good succession plan.
I mean, we'll find out this year.
Yeah, we will find out this year. But I mean, I'd be surprised if Steen doesn't seem to know what he's doing. Like the Blues have seemed to do it the right way, and the Cardinals have done this exactly the wrong way.
Yeah, they've fumbled this one.
Well, and it's not helping the DeWitt family at all because most of St. Louis feels like they don't really give a shit about baseball. They just give a shit about making the money. Right. This is the lowest attendance rating the Cardinals have had in God knows how long.
Since the 90s.
Yeah, and even then, they're still far surpassing that low set because I think they were like in the 90s, they were like 9th. Right now they're like 19th in attendance.
I
mean, it's bad.
Really
this is the worst you've seen it. So let's put an end to this era. R.I.P. John Moe.
I mean, you got two World Series titles with him? You got one.
You got one with him in like 3 World Series appearances. Right. But again, I don't know if I can fully attribute that to him. I mean, honestly, because should Mike Shildt still be the manager? I would say so.
Right.
There's so many things that have gone into place that should have gone the way that they did.
Yeah, because he's doing a fine job out in San Diego.
Oh, of course.
But I mean, they have better players too.
They have better players because they got a better front office.
They do.
They got a better front office. I mean, so that's
13 back of the Brewers. You're out of that division. There's no doubt. You're not coming back from that. The Brewers are just cruising.
So let's go on to Cardinals baseball next year. All right.
6 games back of the wild card. That is still possible, but why at this point?
Who gives a shit?
All right. So before we move into the football, guess what happened 2 more times since we had the last podcast?
What's that?
2 more dildos have flown out onto the court of the WNBA. So that's 3 of them now. And I believe they've all been green.
Oh, my God. Green dildo, Incredible Hulk season.
Like a bright green, too, yes.
You got Incredible Hulk dildo season going on.
So, yeah, there's definitely a problem right now in the WNBA with flying dildos because it damn near hit Sophia Cunningham.
And I'm sure that was intentional because she is lighting up social media right now. She is lighting up and loving world in social media right now.
So you could bet on it over the weekend, but after the second one was thrown, I bet you they took that one off.
I was gonna say there's no way they got dildo
you
bets.
Could bet.
Dildo bets going on.
You could guess what color the dildo was going to be.
Oh my God! That's a problem. That's where you know there's a problem. And when you are betting on dildos flying on the courts of WNBA game, because just betting on WNBA in general, then you're betting on dildos flying on the court. You got a full degenerate problem, like full on. Like
I seen it. I didn't make it, but I did see it.
There is an 800 number for you out there. I'll tell you that. All right, so I guess that's our WNBA talk for today.
That's it.
All right, so this week we're on the AFC South. We're going to dive into the AFC South here. All right, so this division has been a very interesting division the last couple of years. Texans have kind of been running this division. It's been tight, but I mean, it's seemed to be one of the lower divisions in the NFL this year. I mean, the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's down there with it's just something about the NFC and AFC South.
Yeah, both South divisions have really kind of not been very prominent, but I can see a bounce back coming up this year because both of them have made very good personnel changes. So the Texans are favored again at plus 115 to win this division here.
Yes.
So the Texans are at plus 115. Their over-under win total is at 6.5.
Now, the big question here is, can Stroud actually take the other step forward? He definitely regressed last year, and he'll even tell you itself that he was just making mistakes that he shouldn't have been making.
But there was also a lot of issues with the offensive line. Also, I mean, wide receiver, you got Stephon Diggs.
That's what I got written down here. Revamped offensive line now.
Stephon Diggs was doing well. Then he tore his ACL. Then Tank Dell went down with a big injury.
He's gone for the season.
Nico Collins had a bit.
He was hurt a little bit last year.
I mean, but he still had a good season again. He got a big contract.
Now they did bring in Christian Kirk.
Yeah, Christian Kirk and Nick Chubb. So a 1-2 punch with him and Joe Mixon right now. Let's see how that offensive line performs.
But Mixon's hurt, and there's a chance that he might not start the season. And then D'Amico Ryan come out and said Nick Chubb is just not the same player that
he's not going to be. I mean, there's no way. I mean, I don't care who you are. I mean, like these aren't robots here.
Right.
And
he's had 3 knee surgeries.
Yeah, I mean, he had a major one in college where he tore every ligament in college. Then he had one when he tore one in Cleveland. Then he broke the leg in Cleveland again too, as well. On top of that, so that's 3 major injuries that he's had. I mean, that's hard. I mean, these aren't robots that we're talking about. These are human beings.
I mean,
and they normalize these guys coming back from injury. But like, this is the thing, they're never going to be the same again. A lot of times, I mean, anybody who knows of any age of 28 to 40 years old, once you start getting a little bit of mileage on that body, it's just think about your car.
Yeah,
you can get
shakes, rattles, and rolls.
Yeah,
baby.
You could have a brand new Mustang, 2025 Mustang. That bad boy goes through a total body damage, total like complete wreckage.
Yeah, and it's not going to be.
It's never going to be the same as when you first rolled it off that lot the very first time. So that's just how it rolls with that. They also traded Laramie Tunsil to the Washington Commanders. So I mean, it's going to be a tough sledding for the Texans. I mean, it's going to be a tight division because like the other teams did improve with their rosters. Like I said, the over/under win total was 6.5.
Where you got them at?
I got them at 9-8.
Okay, I got them going 10-7.
You got them at 10-7.
They are playing the AFC and NFC West this year.
Yeah, which is going to be tough.
So yeah, your 9-8 could probably be a little more closer to the truth.
Yeah, I mean the 9-8. I mean this is going to be tough playing the NFC West and the AFC West. That's going to be very, very tough sledding for them going forward this year. All right, so next up I had the next favorite team here was the Jaguars.
It's the Jags for sure.
The Jaguars were at plus 300. plus 300 to win the division there. So, I mean, they brought in De'Ami Brown for the Commanders last year.
Yep.
Robert Hainsey, center from Tampa that they brought in. Jordan Lewis, nickel corner out of Dallas, that they gave him big money, probably one of the highest paid nickel corners in the league. But they also lost Ronald Darby, Evan Ingram, and Mitch Morris retired too from center, who was one of their big leaders. So we'll see how that goes. But then, of course, Travis Hunter.
But the fun thing, that's what I was going to everybody's got the new shiny toy down there.
Travis Hunter.
Defensive player.
Yeah, Travis Hunter. Let's see how that goes. I mean, that's going to be tough, man. I don't care how. I mean, the kid is gifted.
Right.
He is gifted. But the thing is, with the NFL, it's not about if you're going to get injured. It's about when you get injured.
And if you're putting yourself on the field
if you're playing that much more. Because you got to think, there's a lot of guys that talk about guys that play offensive as a starter or defense as a starter, and they also play special teams. Right. How much that takes out of you and how much that takes away from the production. So some of your star players, like somebody like Devontae Adams, you're not putting him on special teams.
No.
Because the thing is like your body is going to take more chances of injury, more chances of wear and tear and breakdown. But he's a young player right now, so we're talking about this season going forward. So
what do you think the blueprint is, or the ideal blueprint would be?
For me, what I would say is like you start him at defense at corner, and then you have a package for him. So just like I with Champ Bailey, just like with Deion Sanders, you have a package for him on offense where he plays about 15 to 20 snaps a game on offense, and he starts at corner.
But then don't you know when he's out there it's practically going to be coming to him? Like,
no, you don't, because you don't know. I mean, he can still be a decoy. I mean, there was times with Deion, there was times with Champ Bailey when they were out there. When you really break down the film and watch those guys when they were out on the field, Charles Woodson same way.
Well, that's how long ago it was.
Oh yeah,
we're talking about
well, I know exactly, because I mean it's so that's how rare it is that you have somebody that show you how much of a special athlete that he is. That's how long ago we talked about that, because these are two guys that both were in the Hall of Fame, and even Charles Woodson, another guy, in the Hall of Fame. All three of those players in the Hall of Fame. So the best bet is now don't play him full-time offense and defense. You have a package for him on offense because it's a lot easier to integrate him into offense, and control his snaps, and then play him at cornerback all the time from there, because he's just a gifted player in that capacity. So their over-under win totals at 5.5 games.
I'll take the over on that one.
You take the over?
Yeah, I'll take the over on that one.
I had a hard time when I went through their schedule going through week after week, just because right now Trevor Lawrence, unless Liam Cohen shows some magic he's making happen there.
It could happen.
I got him going 5-12.
Ooh, okay.
I got him going 5-12.
I got him at 8-9.
You got him 8-9? Yeah, I got him at 5-12. They got some tough divisional matchups too as well. Like I said, AFC West and NFC West. I mean, those are some tough matchups with Trevor Lawrence, who has not shown he's been able to climb and hump.
No, what is this, year 5 for Trevor?
This might be year 6.
Is it? Oh,
yeah, they did, because they gave him the combination extension. He's making $55.5 million a year.
Yeah, I think that. Well, Trevor's probably just who Trevor is at this point.
No, well, I can't blame all that on Trevor. He had to go through the Urban Meyer experience his first year. Then he went through a couple years with Doug Peterson.
Well, Shad Khan's just a bad owner. Like,
you know what? I don't think Shad Khan's necessarily a bad owner. It's his Nick Khan. It's his son who is the.
Well, they're making bad decisions.
Yeah, I mean, it's Nick Khan. Well, they're too worried about expanding that pool out in the outfield, on the field. They got going on out there. You know, they want Olympic side swimming pool out there.
5-12. Okay.
Yeah, 5-12, man. Again, they made some advancements here, but I mean, I still think there's going to be some growing pains for that team.
All right.
New coach, like I said, I mean, Trevor Lawrence is still also coming off injury too as well.
True, that is true.
So let's see what happens there. All right, so next up we got the Colts. The Colts were at plus 310, so right behind there, which I can see the Colts actually could be a sneaky winner of this division.
They could be. It just depends on what you're going to get out of Richardson.
Honestly, well, if it's Richardson or if it's Daniel Jones.
What are you going to get out of Jones?
So Richardson's going to be starting the game this Friday night for the first preseason game for them. So it's all about if you get Richardson going or if we get Daniel Jones. Danny Dimes can be producing wins. I mean, hell, they went 9-8 with Gardner Minshew.
They did.
And Danny Dimes is a better quarterback than Gardner Minshew. He just is overall. And so, for me going forward with that, they brought in Chardavius Ward, which was a great pickup. Mm-hmm. Also, Cameron Bynum from the Vikings as a safety. So I like the upgrades they made in the secondary.
Yeah,
Lou Anarumo, they brought in as defensive coordinator once the Bengals fired him. From last year, he's a great proven defensive coordinator. Obviously, we talked about Daniel Jones, and again, I don't like to bring rookies in for difference makers as much, but Tyler Warren is going to be a big deal in difference makers.
At the tight end position,
out of Penn State. That's going to be a big deal in difference maker.
I
believe that.
I mean, he had 101 receptions last year.
If you have the right quarterback in it, for me, I would, if from a fantasy standpoint,
I would think Jones would be the better quarterback for that.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Is like Daniel Jones. So for a fantasy standpoint. If Anthony Richardson is the quarterback for the team, I would not want Tyler Warren on my fantasy team.
Right.
But if Daniel Jones is the quarterback of the team, I would take Tyler Warren on my team. Just from a completion standpoint. I mean, the dude, Anthony Richardson had a 47% completion percentage last year.
12% lower than the next closest person to attempt 250
the most disgusting numbers that you can think of is from a completion percentage standpoint. They did also lose Will Fries at guard. And then EJ Speed at linebacker. They lost them. Those are some of the big losses they lost from last year. Their over/under was at 5.5 games. I like them going 7-10.
I also have them 7-10.
Okay, all right. So 7-10. That's what I'm looking at right now.
So I mean, we know it's going to run through Taylor and Pittman and Downs.
But it's all going to be dependent on the quarterback.
I mean, it just depends on the quarterback.
It all depends on the quarterback.
So, I mean, the Colts probably would be in a better position right now to start Jones and let Anthony Richards sit a little bit more.
But for me, I feel like
does it work?
But for me, I feel like if Anthony Richardson doesn't win this position coming out of camp, his days are over. Unless Daniel Jones got hurt somehow, and then he comes in and lights it up in some way, in some capacity. To me, if he doesn't win this position here, because you got the Irsay girls are pretty much they've moved on. They're like, okay, we've got nothing invested in this dude outside of what he was drafted by Chris Ballard. Because I mean, for me, if they have a shitty season this year, Chris Ballard's gone, Steichen might be gone, Anthony Richardson might be gone, and then we start the Irsay girls regime. As far as because you got all those daughters basically.
Then they might be chomping at the bit.
Hey, there's a reason why that girl with Carly Irsay was on the headset the whole time. I mean, there's a reason for that. Like she was like, she said it. She gave a very good interview about that. She said, if you run a team or organization, you want to know the rhyme or reason for why coaches are making decisions, why things are going right or wrong. And so for me, I'm excited to see what happens going forward with this team. I think they have a chance to be good defensively, but I also feel like offensively they got the weapons in place. It's going to all stem off the quarterback.
Starts from the quarterback.
It's all going to stem off the quarterback. All right, so then last up we got the Tennessee Titans.
Well, I mean, it comes down to the quarterback. I mean, it's not all on the rookie quarterback here, but I mean, they drafted number 1 pick, Cam Ward. I mean, they're starting with the new game plan, I guess. Canales
actually seemed to do well with the team. I mean, as far as he did well with Baker Mayfield down in Tampa, that's what got him the head coaching job. They're at plus 700 to be they're obviously last to win the division here. Their over-under is 4.5 win total. Okay. They brought in Quandre Diggs at safety, Tyler Lockett also a receiver, who's an aging receiver.
They still got Ridley down there.
Yeah, they got Ridley. Kevin Zeitler, who they brought in at guard as well, I think, from the Lions. So, I mean, their over-under win totals at 4.5 games. I like Cam Ward. Everything that I've seen, everything that I've heard coming out of camp, everything I heard about his work ethic, and for me, he has the best blueprint for what makes a good winning quarterback in the NFL. So he went to Incarnate Ward out of high school as a 1-star recruit because they ran a triple option when he was in high school. Okay, and then he went to Incarnate Ward, then transferred to Washington State and lit it up at Washington State. Then went to Miami and then lit it up and propelled himself into the number 1 overall pick in the NFL. I like that type of grit and grind and those numbers going forward. So I feel like he's going to have a very good career. I still feel like they're going to go through a lot of bumps and bruises going into the season. So I got them going 5-12.
I got them 4-13.
4-13. So we're about the same ballpark.
Yeah, same range. I mean, it could be different. Like Cam Ward could come in, just start lighting it up. I mean, because they've got Pollard down there and Spears. Spears shows he can break it sometimes. It's just, can that young offense and young defense
They brought a couple offensive linemen in. Like I said, Zeitler they brought in. They also brought in Dan Moore from Pittsburgh, who a lot of people in Pittsburgh can't stand that dude. I mean, he was left tackle. They paid him. I don't know. So again, let's say they might have. I still feel like it might be a couple years away. You're going to have the growing pains of being a rookie quarterback still. I mean, does he do the Jaden Daniels thing? And really catapult this team to something we're like, holy shit, we didn't see this coming from the Titans.
Yeah, we didn't see that coming.
Yeah, because nobody saw that coming from the Commanders last year. Last year. If I go back and look at my notes from last year, I'm pretty sure I had the Commanders going like 6 and.
I don't remember. I would have to go back and look.
Yeah,
it probably wasn't very good.
Yeah, it probably wasn't. I probably had them going like 6-11, 5-12. Probably same thing I got the Titans going right now. So I mean, but it's going to be an interesting season from the AFC South. Like I said, they got tough out of the division matchups.
Yeah, they do. I could easily see the Texans winning at 9-8, maybe even 8-9, depending on how it shakes out.
I mean, who knows? I mean, how it shakes out. But I mean, I feel like anybody who wins this division is going to be barely over 500.
Right.
I mean, the only thing I can see is maybe if the Colts catapult and they're 7-10, can flip to 10-7 very easily. depending on if Daniel Jones has a resurgence on his career, because I don't see it happening with Anthony Richardson. He might, but again, I just don't see a full season because we have not seen it from his career yet.
I get it. I won't make that mistake again.
Yeah. Oh, you drafted him?
I drafted him last year.
Yeah. Sorry about it, Bobby. Like, that's why the championship's in my hands right now.
I get it. No, I made a lot of mistakes last year. Won't happen again.
That's why the championship's in my hands. All right, so that's all I got covered for this week, brother.
That's all I got, brother.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for our news right now, because NBA's in dead zone, NHL's in dead zone.
So hockey.
Smelling salts have been banned.
Oh, smelling salts have been banned? I did not hear that.
I forgot about that.
How the hell do you ban smelling salts? What happened there?
I didn't see the reason
Something
why.
about maybe preventing concussions. Like if someone got a concussion, they can hit some smelling salt and.
So you can smoke weed now, but you can't use smelling salts? What is going on? That is the craziest thing I ever heard. There's guys who used to use smelling salts just to get themselves going before a game.
Jason Kittle says he uses it every drive.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's no way that you smelling George Kittle. Yeah,
George Kittle.
Yeah, there's no way smelling salts are banned. Jesus, I didn't even heard that. Dave.
I did.
When you made that motion, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? We're not talking about cocaine on this podcast. Oh shit. Well, that wraps us up for this week on Bets and Buds. Shout out to True on the track for blessing with these beats. Shout out to Director Dave, keep us on the ones and twos. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Add to the comments section. We'll be really diving into gambling coming up here soon, and also diving into some
2
fantasy.
more weeks. We got the West on each side, and then we'll do a fantasy show.
We'll do some fantasy show right before to get it started. I'm Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
We'll see you next week.
Peace.